So, welcome everyone. Happy New Year to you. I hope it's, going pretty well so far for everyone. It's still a trying year. Oh my goodness, unbelievable. But let's see, we have Julie here and Julie Noble. She's going to give us an update on the project that's going on at Kingston Point. And do we want to review the minutes or approve the minutes first, or do we want Julie to speak and then we'll continue after that?
Yeah, we can let Julie go first so she can,
Okay,
you can move on. Yeah.
great. Okay, Julie, welcome.
Great. Thank you. So if you wouldn't mind, Lindsay, allowing me to share my screen.
Yep.
So to give you an update, Kingston Point Park project got approved by the Common Council for the transfer or the approval to use CDBG money for Kingston Point. $70,000 was approved earlier this week. There is a pretty lengthy review process that has to go through HUD. And so what happens now is that it is under environmental review, which takes about 15 or 30 days. Then it needs to go out to public comment, which takes a number of days. And then it needs to go to HUD for approval. And some of these things happen simultaneously, but while that's happening, I'm not able to actually contractually make any obligations yet, purchase anything, but I can do planning. And so following up from what discussions that we've had before, I had gone over with you all a couple of different options for playground design. At this time, I'm working with Dennis Larios, who is the engineer that is managing the Kingston Point Park Improvements Project, which is the new soccer field and the new parking lot. And in doing that, he put together the design that included the grading for where the new playground would go as well. And just like we are going to be elevating the parking lot and the soccer field, we are going to be elevating the playground also. So that needs to be included in the permitting that goes through the Department of Environmental Conservation. So I have a meeting with Dennis tomorrow, and we're going to be submitting that rest of that permitting. They had come back to us with some questions, and so we're following up with that. And that'll all go through as one big package. If you haven't been done for the last 6 months, DA Collins, which is the contractor that's working on the 587 interchange, has been taking the fill from the 587 interchange that was taken out of the ground and giving us the fill down at Kingston Point, and that's what we're going to be using to elevate the land. So it's a good reuse of that, and it saves us a ton of money. No pun intended. So that is being stockpiled there, which is great. And so now the process is, I received your letter stating your preference for the playground, and I had a meeting, or Lindsay and I and other staff had a meeting about a month or so ago with project managers, and it was recommended highly that we go out to the public for a public survey for the design for the playground. And so what I've done is I have taken your top choice from our previous discussion, the mayor's top choice, which is that wooden playground, and I've also added a third choice, which I'm going to show you in a moment. And we're going to go over that today. And if you like all those three choices and think that that's good to go, then I'm going to put together a brief survey for the community. And if you had a chance to participate in the survey that we did several years ago now, this will be similar in the one that was done for the train bridge that goes over Broadway, where we basically said, do you like this design, this design, or this design? And people will then choose which design they like the most, and that will help inform the final decision. Lindsay, were you able to?
It says only admin can allow that permission, and I guess.
Okay, so click on my screen, the three dots that are in my top right corner of my picture.
Okay.
and it should say either make host, make co-host, or make presenter. Any of those is fine.
Okay. Should that have allowed you to do it?
Thank you. Okay, so at this point, you should be able to see my screen, and I'm going to show you the three choices that we're looking at now and talk to you about what you really value most in elements of a playground and how you can help me make sure that this survey is most informative. Let me start with the last page here, which is again showing the full scope of the location to give you a perspective of where the playground is going to go. So this is the design that was done by Bernier and Larios. The playground's on the left, the soccer field's in the middle, and I'm sorry, the parking lot is on the left, the soccer field is in the middle, the future playground is on the bottom right. To give you a perspective of what we're looking at all, on the left-hand side is Delaware Avenue at Kingston Point. Going across horizontally is the access road to the beach, and on the right-hand side is the beach parking lot. So on the far right is the river. So this is all the new proposed amenities, and here's the pavilion. So this is the location, this amoeba here where the future playground is going to be going. And as a perspective on an aerial view, this is the beach parking lot, the pavilion, the solar bathrooms, and the maintenance building, and this area, which is about, well, the square isn't drawn to scale, but it's about a 50 by 50 area that we're going to be putting this playground. So it will be much closer to the pavilion, so parents and families that are hanging out and having events at the pavilion and closer to the playground or to the beach can access it much easier, very close to the bathroom. So I showed you a couple original plans. This was the design that you chose of the ones that I had originally shown you. This is all of these, by the way, are through Playworld. Playworld is the playground system that we are using for all of our playgrounds. It's on state bid, so we don't have to go out to bid. They are very, very helpful with design, and they do the installation as well. And so the other playgrounds in our play system are also Playworld, which makes it also easier for replacement and just streamlining the vendors. This was the option we talked about the first time. In each of the three that I'm showing you here today, there's a square on the right-hand side, which is 50 by 50. None of this is actually to scale. This is just Julie putting this together. This is not any official engineering. This is just Julie doing it. So 50 by 50 space. The green amoeba is the pour in place safety surface. Now, one of the things that we're doing, and I might have mentioned this in the past, but for all of our playgrounds, we are shifting to a pour in place safety surface. It is a rubberized system that is buoyant but solid, and it gets poured in place and then it gets melted so that it is secure, it is ADA compliant, and it requires zero to very minimal maintenance, which is much different than what we have now, which is safety surface wood chips that we have to purchase, and we have to replace them very frequently, and we have to move them around all the time and schlep them everywhere. It's just a lot of work. Pour in place is costly up front, but it requires really minimal maintenance and has a long-term life. So they come in like a million different colors. I used green for just the sake of just consistency here, but it can really be any color. In this particular design, this is the design of the ones that I showed you in the past that the commission chose and wrote to me in the letter. It's called Fort Wildwood. Since that time, it has gone up by $1,000, but it's $36,500 plus installation, which would be $14,600. Pour in place safety surface. This would be a 36 by 28 space. So again, this is not to scale. Somebody else just joined the meeting. Just want to let you know. And so basically I tried to represent here what the space would be compared to the space of the full playground area. There would be a walkway in from basically from this corner here, so around the edge of where the maintenance building is, on the ADA surface, so someone can roll their stroller or wheelchair from the parking lot, from the ADA parking spot right onto the playground. And basically, this is the design of that original playground. So it has the climbing wood, the treehouse climber, you know, it has the slide, it has the gates and the steps and the, you know, the ladders and everything. So that project would look like this. We could choose a different color for the bottom, of course. And if it were, or as it were, this layout here would take up the whole $70,000, including the pour in place. And so if any additional amenities would want to be installed, but benches or anything else, that would have to come out of either the rec trust fund or future funding. There is one tree that is right here that would provide some shade as it continues to grow, but additional trees might be nice as well around the outside, either way. So that's one option. The option that you all chose as preferred from the first time. I will say on the Playworld website, it is not consistent. This must have been a system that they've had for a long time, because they did have this diagram of it, which was very helpful to kind of show you perspective-wise all the different elements. The other two that I'm going to show you are newer and do not have that. So I'm not able to replicate the same layout here, and this would be all refined before I put it out in the survey. Either way, the second one, which is a natural play space, is the mayor's preference. I'm going to just bring up really quick the Playworld website, because I want you to see it. The picture doesn't do it justice at all, really. It's called Timber World, I think. Timber, here it is, Timber Stacks. And if you don't mind, there's a quick 1-minute video on what this looks like. Hopefully, if it starts to get grainy, just tell me. Okay, so basically it is and I might have gone over this the last time, but it's basically just wood, and it's climbing, and it's using your, you know, different skills to kind of move around. It is much different than the standard playground. No slides, no anything else. It's piles of wood. It is manufactured. It's actual wood. It's black locust, but it is a manufactured product. This is similar in cost. The original, your original design was $36,500. This is $32,200, so it's a little bit cheaper. It is also actually approximately the same size. Again, it was not easy for me to depict it here, which is why I wanted to show you the video. But total, with the square footage of the pour in place would be a little bit larger. And so there could actually be a little bit more room for, again, benches or something else. Certainly, I mean, there's no limit, frankly, to the space at the point. I mean, there's nothing that says we have to stay within the 50 by 50. It's really just cost. But the pour in place is what's laid out based on our cost. Play equipment $32,200. Installation would be $12,880. And then this is a third one that I threw in there. I don't know if I showed you this one the last time. This one is on sale for ridiculously cheap. $18,963, which is not really cheap in general, but compared to the others, it is ridiculously cheap. It is 41 by 35, so it's actually larger than the rest, but it is significantly less. So we could make the playground area much larger. The pour and play space could be larger, and we could add other things like swings or a small shade structure or other jumpy things or benches or whatever with this funding within this budget, because it is substantially less money. It comes because it is less expensive, the installation comes in with cheaper as well. I will also add that we have 3 simultaneous playgrounds being built in this coming spring, which is at Barman, Raquel Knox, and this one. And I'm going to talk to Play World to see if they can possibly mobilize all together so that the pour and place team, which is a subcontractor, can come and just pour and place here, pour and place here, pour and place here, reduce money based on mobilization. Or with the installation, reduce money based on that. I don't know if that's gonna fly, but I might as well ask. So, and I don't think it's very common for Play World or any system to have one community that's installing 3 or any more than 1 playground at a time. So I'm hoping that we can leverage that. So that being said, I'll just tell you the process and then I'm going to open it up for comments and questions. My idea would be to take 3 designs, and it can be these 3 or it can be any other 3 if you think these are terrible. And I am going to go put these together in some sort of more refined package that isn't this, and have Summer, our communications director, put together this in a very simple survey, which we will blast out to the world. We'll put that out for a couple weeks. People will give me back their responses. In the meantime, I'm going to be designing internally with Play World, just understand the space, the play and pour and place area and all that, because I need, in order to stay in the timeline of CDBG, I have to order a playground by mid-February. So it has to be placed. In order to order by mid-February, that gives me 50 days until delivery. And in 50 days, at that time, they do the delivery. I have to then, construction needs to be complete. I need to invoice them and get reimbursed by CDBG by May. So these playgrounds will be done and ready to play on by June 1st. However, in order to do that and stay on that timeline, I have to order this by February. So the middle of February, February 15th. So I wanted to put it out there to get feedback on this, to understand if there's something else at Play World that you think that you wanted to look at, or to understand if there's other elements that are totally overlooked. So like, I know that, if there's something else that you were all thinking, I really wish we had X, or I hate slides, I don't want any slides in this park, or we can't have a playground without a swing, or if there's something like that, I want to hear what those elements are, or those things are that are valuable to you. Maybe it's shade, maybe it's not shade, maybe it's benches, maybe it's, whatever, a seesaw, teeter-totter, whatever. And I'm going to take all that into consideration, and then we're going to make this happen by mid-February. So any comments or questions?
So for the survey that you're doing, are you doing certain focus groups like children and parents of, young children? That if not, that might be helpful to see. I mean, especially because, they'll be the ones using it mostly. So
yeah, I haven't figured out how I would do that, but maybe I can send it to the school system and have them send it out.
probably.
And maybe even if it isn't the whole school system, maybe to JFK. I mean, I don't, do you think that I should focus on downtown?
Well, I mean, well, it definitely is a downtown, area that, and a lot of people down in the downtown area do use the beach and the Kingston Point area in general. But of course, it would be public to everyone in our city.
Right.
But I just think it definitely, being that it's something that would mainly be used by young children and then their parents who would be nearby, excuse me, I think it would be beneficial to ask them because as much as we can reflect on our childhoods and what we liked, the children know a lot more about what they prefer and even, space between jumping if they have mobility issues or whatever the case may be. Parents might think better about how well they can view their children from a certain point. So
Yes.
they might know like, oh, or they might be have feelings about how high something is or the texture of it. So that just might help. But can you also, would you be able to give us copies of those pictures or just the link to the website? It's just a little too far, like on my phone, to zoom in to see it.
Yep. I can give you the link to the website in the chat
Okay.
right now. And then I can definitely send this to you as well.
Okay.
If that works. So that's great. I like all those ideas for sure. Oh, there's something else that I thought of while you were saying that, but I totally forgot what it is now. I meant to say these are all designed for 5 to 12. I forgot.
Exactly. Yeah, you mentioned
Which
that.
is consistent with our other parks.
Yep. I have a comment if that's possible. I'm just a little worried. I do like the timber design, but I'm worried about like maybe some weatherization. I know that we've had wood parks in the past, and I've just done that from additional research. I've found that out myself, and that they haven't really been sustainable. Haven't really been able to keep up over the years and things like that. So that's just one of my concerns. Obviously, we can go any way we want, but that's something I do want to at least address. And you said it's real wood. I was hoping it was going to be some sort of Trex material or something like that.
Yeah, I totally hear you. And I spoke actually with DPW today about it, and they're also they brought up the exact same concern. They said Kinderland was removed for that reason. And, the Play World out in Saugerties was removed for the exact same reason. And there's 2 of them in Saugerties, one in Woodstock, one in Saugerties. This is a new product. I'm not a Play World rep. I can't speak to it. I would hope that they figured something out, but really we all know wood is wood, right? I mean, this is wood, that was wood.
And being by a beach with the water and everything like that might
salt. I mean, like the sand.
Well, not, but the sand, yeah.
Yep. Okay. I definitely hear that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but obviously I like cheap, so 3 looks good to me, and we can add some stuff to it. But 3 looks. I love Challengers. I think that looks great as well, especially with being a discount. And of course, the first choices. I think the 3 choices that we have are adequate and will work great down there. Like I said, my only concern is just with the actual natural wood, not being necessarily with a useful life on it.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
Well,
Julie?
sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to ask, when do you need our, decision on, which park we prefer?
I would love it within a week.
Oh, okay.
Yes. If I need to order something by mid-February, I need to have received the survey back by the beginning of February in order to get together with Play World to get it all together. And in order to get the survey back by the end of the month, I need to put the survey out soon.
I don't see that being unreasonable.
Okay. And again, I've just now included the Play World link in the chat. If you want to, I welcome you to go onto the website. It is very, very simple. I'll just navigate through with you here if you want. You just go to Play World. You scroll over this, you click on school age 5 to 12. It loads up. If you scroll down, you click playgrounds. Or if you want to see the other components we can add in. And so view products. And then it allows you to do something very, very great, which is you go over here and you click the space. So it allows you to put in the dimensions. You put in 50 by 50. And then you also choose the price. So our playground has to be 35 or less in order to get it in there. And then it'll give you all the options. And if you see something in here that you're like, this is way better than anything Julie presented me, I am fine considering it. There's a lot of them are very similar, but some of them have shades, some of them have more slides, some of them have no slides. You know, some of them have crawling through tubes, some of them have walls you can climb on, whatever. It's like the sky's the limit. So you'll see Challengers, which is, they'll show you which ones are on sale. Again, Challengers seems like a steal to me with this 18,000. Either way, feel free to look at it, send me notes, send me thoughts about it, but I really would need them by Friday of next week.
Okay.
Okay, great. Okay. Does anyone else have any comments or for Julie? Okay. Well, thank you, Julie.
All right, you're welcome. Thanks for your time.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. There we go.
Okay. So I'm just thinking, when do we want to do we want to take a look at the website at some point and decide what our choices are once again before Friday, or do we want to make a decision on what Julie offered us tonight? I know that this is like an ASAP, you know, needs an ASAP response. So
I mean,
Any-
as a
any-
commission, we already voted on the first one that she did present. And we wrote a letter, made a decision on that.
yes,
So, I mean, for me, I'm content with the choices that she has, but I'm obviously open to any other suggestions that anyone else has. But for those three, and then those three are going to go out to the public for their, obviously, in opinions and what they choose. And I think that's where the decision seems to be, like that's where that's going to be made out in the public, not necessarily from us. So I mean, I do think we're represented at least for choice number one. And but up to you, Maureen, if you want to take a look and
well, no, I don't need so many choices because
Yeah.
I
the
get a
same
little
way. Right.
wonky
Exactly.
when it comes to too many choices, but I like cheap,
Yep.
and I also like the fact that that I think that there should be at least a swing. So the cheap choice, I think that was option number 3, does allow for some additional swings. So, but that's just my thoughts on that. So we can move on. Okay, let's see. I guess we need to
Approve the minutes.
yes, right, approve the minutes from the December 3rd meeting.
I got them. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. A second? Anyone second? I can second. All right.
I like it. Nice.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Nancy.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Minutes approved. December minutes approved. Okay.
So I have a question. What have we decided with the playground? Are we gonna vote or are we gonna, I don't know.
So Nancy, what seemed like was going to happen was by the 15th, she's looking for additional comments. So she did send
Okay.
a third choice to us. We did vote already on 1 and 2 in the past. We looked at
Right.
both choices.
Right.
Choice 3 is a new choice. It's a smaller
Right.
choice. And I think she said she was going to send us a link maybe to that. So we do have till Friday to make some additional comments.
Okay.
We want to put into choice 3 if that's the choice that we want to go with.
Okay,
And then
So-
it's a public vote, it sounds like on about maybe around February or so, end of January up to February. And then public vote is what's going to decide what the park is. So if we are want one choice particular, we should probably go out and tell the public to make their voice heard and submit their votes.
Okay, all right, all right. So we'll get back to Lindsay or to her.
You can do
On
either. If you
Friday.
want to send, yeah, you can send me an email and CC
Okay.
her. That works.
Okay. Okay, thanks. That's all.
Great.
Okay, so we have a list of our meetings for 2021. So, does anyone have any questions about any of those dates?
I didn't see anything falling on a holiday or
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
those. Yep. So I'm okay with those.
Now, let me ask you a question. When do we have our annual meeting? Is that in February or March? Isn't there an annual meeting that we have? And for some reason.
Was it June?
It's June, yeah.
Is it June?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Oh.
Ellen.
Is there something that comes up in February or March? No?
Well, we usually did the volunteer recognition
Right.
Okay.
in February.
Okay.
And then the staff, you remember they shared their role.
Okay,
that
volunteer
evening, but-
recognition. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ellen, hello there.
Hey, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, so do we need to vote on the meeting schedule?
Yes.
Or, okay. So, I guess I make a motion to approve the 2021 commission meeting schedule.
Correct.
Is everyone in
Nancy,
agreement
is that a
with that?
second?
That's a second.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, Nancy. Okay.
All in favor? I also approve.
Yep.
Okay,
I'm
all
good.
in favor. Okay, great. We're moving right along. So I guess Lindsay's up next with the department and program updates. Lindsay,
Yes.
what do you have for us?
I have to be honest, not a whole lot. As you know,
Okay.
our programs are still suspended. I do
Right.
have my biweekly meeting with the mayor next Wednesday, and I plan to follow up with him and try to find out when we're going to get the go ahead to start up some of our low risk sports. As you know, last year there was a big question about whether or not softball was going to be able to happen, and it went back and forth. And it wasn't decided to resume until we had our furlough. And so, although it was allowed to begin, our staff were not working at that time. So we did not have a season last year. And so, oh, hold on, Joe's in here. Sorry. Yeah, and so this year, if we know, I just want to kind of get ahead of it and know if it's already considered a low risk sport, if we can plan ahead. Everything was already purchased and ready to go for last year, so we don't have to buy anything. I mean, we're kind of good in that area, so it's mostly just, can we start planning the meetings, get the umpires, get all that together. Usually we start those meetings the end of February, beginning of March, because I believe the practices start somewhere at the end of March, beginning of April. And so we don't want to fall behind. If it's something we know we're going to move forward with, I just kind of want to get ahead of it. So the school programs going well. I did have a conversation with Andrew and Casey, just trying to see, trying to gauge where they're at as far as these long days that they're working. As you know, that's never been something that the city's done before. Full on school virtual learning is new for everyone, but our staff are, trying to pick up the pieces with that. And so, especially if our programs start back up, we just do not have the capacity to run a full day school program. And so we're discussing some alternate options, possibly going to half day sessions. And then even mixing in after school programs in at least twice a week, to try and bring back some sort of normalcy. So, so that a lot of that does depend on our other programs. And so if things start back up, we will most likely cut down the hours that are at the Roundout Center for the school program. We are looking to get another TA there, though. I believe that'll happen, either way. It's just good to have an actual someone with an education background to actually help with the kids and help them sort through their classes. That's all I got. I'd like to give you guys a little update on how the Santa visits to the community centers went. I must say, Joe did a wonderful job as always. The best Santa Claus I've ever seen, that's for sure.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah,
Thank you, Joe.
yeah,
Welcome.
did a great job. It was super cool. He came in on the fire trucks, and the fire department, I can't thank them enough. They just made it really special, pulling on the horns, and the kids were really excited. So it was, who doesn't want to see Santa coming in on a fire truck? It was pretty cool. I have to say, I'm a believer. I'm officially a believer. So it was really
Me too.
we had some really nice donations that were provided. Joe also helped us out with that a lot. So I'd like to thank him. Of course, Ron Woods with the bikes. Kids getting brand new bikes like that. It really is just nice to see. I have to share this one really sweet thing. One of the girls that was chosen by Santa, she decided to give it back because she had just recently gotten a bike. I don't know if it was a birthday gift or she just had one. And so then she got to pick the next recipient out of the hat.
Very nice.
So she totally could have just been like, yeah, I got another bike. But she was very open and honest and was like, oh, I have a bike. Maybe it should go to someone else. And I thought that was super sweet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Great. I'm a believer too. Hey, Santa, you got to believe in Santa. So in any
Yeah,
case,
that's right.
thank you again, Joe, for making that happen, because for a while there, with the weather the way it was, we weren't sure if Santa was going to be able to make it in, and you made it happen. So thank you once again for making it happen.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
No problem. It was just nice just to see people smile, even adults during these hard times and everything for everybody. And I honestly, and I'm a little sensitive believer, Santa, it has another side of Santa, but it was just nice, not only just to see kids smile, but it was just nice to see adults smile. And that was so special, as well, because being that what we're dealing with right now in this time and era, it was like a extra shine on the community to see people just waving in cars. Men, women, kids, everybody, all creeds, everybody was just smiling. So it was a good thing, and I'm glad we were able to do this collectively and make a successful day. But thank you all for giving me the opportunity to do this as well, all of us. It's not just me, it's all of us. We did it, not me, we did it.
Thank Mrs. Claus too. We appreciate your wife, being out there helping out as well. So we appreciate
I did thank her, and I told her to be even more thankful for you to make my cookies. But it's okay.
Great. So anything else, Lindsay?
I just want to let you guys know that the new environmental specialist is starting on Monday. His name is Tom. I really am struggling with how to pronounce his last name. Nerwitsky. I'll have to send the spelling to you guys, but he is beginning on Monday, and we're happy to have him. He's going to be working closely with Julie as well as John Schulteis, our city engineer. So as I mentioned last meeting, he kind of is in both budgets and works under both departments. So, we're excited to have him on the team. He's replacing Sean Coaster. I'm not sure how many of you knew Sean, but Sean was great, got a lot of work done, worked on a lot of projects. He was working on the Franklin Street sidewalk project. And so it's definitely an important job. And we look forward to the work that Tom will be doing.
Okay, great. Okay. I'm sorry, I just lost my, okay, here we are. All right, I guess we'll move on to old business. And on the agenda, Lindsay has that the Ken Bryant dedication update from Joe McDowell. Joe, would you like to bring us up to date on what's going on with that dedication for
Yes,
Ken
sure.
Bryant?
So, yes, I think there was a little confusion at one point with Kenny. I mean, not Kenny. I'm sorry, with Kevin about the letter. So I spoke to Lindsay about it, and what we actually needed was a letter of Kenny's what he did in community, some of his successes in the community, put it that way, and what he did for the community. I spoke to Kevin about it, and he said that he's written a letter up between him and Kenny's wife, Patricia, and that they were gonna submit it to Lindsay as soon as possible. So that's the last I've heard, and that was right before Christmas. So I will follow up again tomorrow, and I believe, Lindsay, you should have it by at least tomorrow.
That's great.
Or Monday, from my understanding. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. And then once we have that, we produce a letter. I'll take care of that. That'll come from my office. We will share it with Steve Shabbat as well as the mayor. And then, or excuse me, I will share it with Steve Shabbat. He will then share it with the mayor as well as the other members of the Common Council. And my understanding from that point on, it's pretty smooth. It just has to be presented at a formal meeting. None of us foresee any sort of objection. Anyone who knew Kenny and how special he was to the department as well as the city. So it's just good to give them some background. And there's some members that don't necessarily know Kenny or didn't know Kenny, may not be from the area. So it's just good to really highlight on the record what his accomplishments really were and what he really meant to the community and a lot of us. So looking forward to that for sure.
Right.
And this is for the dedication down at the basketball courts
Block Park,
at
right?
Block
Yeah,
Park.
Court.
Okay.
Block Park. Yes.
Okay.
And we also mentioned about a plaque. So I know at the not the street side, but the opposite side of the street side of the court, there's a brick, I believe, not a brick, but it's like a block, a pretty big block there. I'm sure it's not going to be removed forever because it's been there forever. But I was concentrating on if we can have the plaque right there of the dedication of Kenny right there, a plaque posted to that. Well, not posted to it, but installed to it. If that's okay.
Are you talking about the stage? Like where?
Yeah, like right.
Hold on,
The basketball court.
I'm just trying to pull it up to see on Google. 1 second.
It's a concrete block there.
Yeah, you're talking. I mean, it can go. I don't see why it couldn't go there. I mean, it's more about where the family would like for it to be, where we think it makes most sense, as long as it's visible to. Let's see.
Right, and that's like a visible spot right there. Instead of even having what we were going to do at the auditorium, if we do anything there, I mean, if it's dedicated right there to him, I think that's like the perfect spot to put the plaque there with sort of version of what he did in the community also, if it's okay with everybody.
So you're saying have a plaque at, you're saying have a plaque in 2 locations?
I was thinking I mean, I don't know about 2 locations. I think that specific location would be a perfect spot for that. You know what I mean? For him.
Okay.
For
Are you?
because that's dedicated strictly to him. That basketball court. So I think that'd be like the perfect spot to put it. If that's okay with you all in the family. I mean, that's something to bring up, but just to put it out there?
Yeah, I would think that a plaque would be suitable for in the location that's being dedicated to him. But for some
Yeah.
reason, I thought that you had mentioned something about something being at the Murphy Center.
Yeah, I think we have mentioned that prior than to dedicating the park. So I think that was like more so in the prior conversation than when we found out about when they suggested if we could name it the Block Park after him.
Okay, yes,
So,
all right.
So if we're gonna do that, we might just put it there because that's the remote location where it's gonna be dedicated to him for. I think it's best to put it there if
Okay,
we all agree.
that
Instead of
makes
having
sense.
Yeah, I think that's a visible spot. I think we definitely just need to make sure it's protected, so it's not like, when people are playing basketball or whatever, that it doesn't get damaged or anything.
Well, the plaque's gonna be it's gonna be copper or metal, the thick version of it. So I mean, you could it could hit a ball, could hit it, whatever. It's gonna be one of those types that you can't hurt it at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that'd be nice. It'd be visible for everybody to see it.
Yeah. So I've been looking into that also. So by next meeting, I could just give examples, or I could just send some to Lindsay, whatever. We could spread it around and see what everybody's opinion about it. And that'd just be the material itself. And whatever we decide or whatever you want to put on it, we'll do that collectively. That's okay.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Okay, so we will, so you should have that information available to give us a further update at the next meeting?
Yes, I'm going to call, actually this evening, I called Kevin just to remind him if he can, or with Patricia, and see if we can just, try to speed that up a little bit so we can have it and so we can move forward.
Yeah, hopefully we can, hopefully that'll be, you'll receive an email from me, once I get that from Joe or Kevin or Patricia. Hopefully we get that going sooner than that, which I think we will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, any other comments on that Bryant dedication?
No.
Okay. Does anyone have any other old business that they'd like to bring up?
No.
Anybody have any other comments about anything regarding this meeting tonight?
I'm good.
I'm good.
No.
Sounds like it was a great meeting. Okay, I guess we looking at the date for our next meeting, which will be February 4th. That's Thursday, February 4th at 5 p.m. Once again, we'll be virtual. Oh, it would be so great to see your faces in person again, but I believe it will be a virtual meeting. So,
Yeah.
So,
I haven't had a haircut for my story, everybody.
what did you say?
I haven't had a haircut since the last time I've seen everybody.
Really? Wow.
Okay.
Do you see
But
the across my beard spray and everything now? I'm just kidding.
It's possible to get hair, it's possible to get haircuts now.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding. That's why you're hiding your face, right? Uh-huh. All right.
Okay.
So our next meeting is Thursday, February 4th at 5 on Zoom. And if there aren't any other comments or information that needs to be dispersed, then we can call this meeting, we can adjourn the meeting.
All right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye.
Bye.
All right. And I will say bye to this meeting. Okay, be safe. Stay
guys.
well.
All right.
Yes.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
See you
everybody.
next month.
Bye-bye. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks.